events that we've done here in the past. But today I really wanted to talk to you about the shift and why you're going to be speaking at the Greenbrier. So just initially tell us a little bit about you, who you are, how long you've been in the business, and why speaking about the shift and getting people prepared you think is really important.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Kristan. Yeah, I've been in real estate 35 years, and of course I come from Southwest Florida, and when I started, it was in the 80s, of course, and we know what happened with interest rates, and the market was a little tough then. Saw some good years, and then we had something happen in Southwest Florida called 2006. And between Fort Myers, Phoenix, and probably Las Vegas, we were the poster children. And I had just built a brand new office, 12,000 square feet, and we had a great team. And that was 2005. And it seemed like the next day, the market crashed. And basically living through that, I want to basically share what I learned in that shift in my first shift. This one coming up is going to be the third. I want to share them the pain, because the market, success leaves clues, and so does the market. And the market goes through cycles. Gary talks about the cycles. And so I know been through it. I've been through it. And so I'm going to bring the message of what I've learned in a shifting market to the agents at the Greenbrier.
Which, so tell us a little bit about the Greenbrier. It's really an iconic, very historic, and yet luxurious, incredible place. So tell us what you know about the Greenbrier.
Well, there's three things I'm really excited about. Number one, I never even heard about the Greenbrier until I think that Gary had some sort of little mastermind with you and a few other agents. You came back just raving about the Greenbrier. And I like to go to nice places. So I'm excited about that. I think it's like a 4 or 5 star hotel back in the mountains. And being a Florida guy, we don't see mountains much. So that's number one. Number two, this is going to be a small, intimate gathering, not like the big summit you had in Phoenix where you had a couple hundred people. We're going to probably have a smaller group, which means we'll be able to interact more. This is going to be kind of a workshop type deal, and we'll be able to do a little bit more one-on-one script practice, etc. So I'm excited about that. And the third thing I'm excited about is my passion, and I know you share the passion, is we get to run and get a medal.
Oh, right. They're doing a half marathon. You can do a 5K, a 10K, or a half. And there's a champagne brunch afterwards.
Well, agents are going to be running for their life anyway during the shift if they're not prepared, so they might as well run and get a medal.
That's true. That's true. I think the other thing that's important is, we're really talking about 3 shifts here. We've got the shifting real estate market. We also have a big, big shift in technology.
Yep.
And we've got a major shift in terms of competition, just competitiveness in terms of brokerages and franchises. And so I think the other thing that we're going to be talking a lot at the Greenbrier about is about a leader shift. Meaning, as leaders, what do we have to do? And I know John Maxwell just came out with a book here a month or so ago on the leader shift, but I'm going to talk a lot about that. What do leaders need to do in terms of shifting what they do as a leader during a shifting market to not only survive it, but to really thrive through it? I remember in 2008, I did a speech down in Captiva in Florida, and just talking to people about what are the things that you can do that seem very, very small, but make a massive difference during a shift. And one of those things, just as a little nugget, we started in our market centers, and also because I'm an OP, but also, in my agent business, looking for how do we cut 1% to 2% of our expenses every month. Now, you cannot cut your way to profitability, but you can sure get smart about it ahead of a shift. Like, there are some people that might not even be feeling the shift yet. However, super majority of the locations we're in, which is about 35 of them, we're all feeling it. And so I think not only tactical issues that you're going to be sharing with us about what do agents do, but I also think from a leadership perspective. So you've been to a few of these events. What kind of leadership do you think you saw at those events that can help people in this type of a market as well, that are leading big teams?
Well, people are leaders because they have influence. And for example, I know you've got some leadership signed up, and other leaders should go because they're going to influence their agents. And when you look at leadership, it kind of flows downhill. When you have a seller sitting there, who's the leader for the seller in their real estate situation? It's the agent. The sellers are looking for us to give them leadership and advice in a shifting market. So for us to be able to do that as agents, we have to first understand it. Therefore, the leaders then who influence the agent should understand the characteristics of the shift, because a shift starts with the market mindset. So we have to, as agents and as leaders of agents, shift our mindset to fully understand what it means, because sellers are looking to us for answers. And you know what? The more challenging the market becomes, the more the sellers are going to be reaching for the experts. And so I'm going to be talking about how we can be market experts, and the leadership that's there. I would encourage them to go, because they want to understand the market as well. And what's interesting, we have people in leadership, young people. You talk about technology. Agents that have been in this business, Kristan, for less than 10 years have never seen this type of market before. So they have to rely on us old dogs, basically, and some of the other training, because we have been through it. The other thing that we want agents to understand is, maybe first-time home buyers that bought a market in the last 8 to 10 years, they had to put their track shoes on, and they were in a very competitive market, multiple offers, maybe homes selling over asking price, right? So that is their frame of reference. Now the market's shifting. Now they become a seller. They're thinking it should react the same way as it did when they bought 5 or 6 or 7 years ago. And it's going to be completely opposite. So there's a big bubble of people here that have never experienced what we've been through multiple times.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I gave an example yesterday. In Alaska, we got an offer last March, a year ago, on a $300,000 property. It was in multiple offers and sold for $25,000 more over asking. But a funny thing happened. Buyer lost their job, so it went back on the market. We didn't even get an offer for another 6 months. And when we did, it was for $25,000 less than what the asking price was. That's what a shift starts to look like. And you're right. Most agents haven't been through it. Most leaders haven't been through it. And what Gary has said many, many times is that it is the biggest opportunity on the planet when we have a shifting market to take territory and to really grow your business. And you've got to get ahead of it, though. You have to be able to teach your agents how to deal with this market ahead of it actually showing up. So if you haven't been through a shift, what would you tell someone about coming to the Greenbrier and learning the things that we've learned about a shift? What would you tell them right now if they've never been through it?
Well, number one is to get into reality. I always have a funny line: the most crowded state in the nation is what? The state of denial. You've heard me say it many times. And, and here's the thing is that most agents, and not all markets are shifting the same. We just spoke in a market that's down 30%, right? Our market in Southwest Florida, where my market is down 15%. So it is undeniable in some areas. And in some of the areas, it's not, they may not be feeling it yet. It may be coming. Here's the thing. Almost every agent, whether they believe in the shift or not, they want to give high customer service. And the best, if you really care about your customers, case in point, the example you gave, we have to be equipped to be able to help our sellers sell sooner than later, because it's Groundhog Day in reverse. Because in many markets, in a shifting market, every morning the seller wakes up and hits the alarm clock, and they've got Sonny and Cher singing, "I Got You, Babe." Their home is worth less. So as soon as they talk them off that cliff into reality, the better customer service, you know what? And those sellers are going to thank them for the rest of their lives, because they cared enough to give them the truth. And so we can't be the truth doctors until we understand and know how to articulate the truth.
Very true. I kind of liken it to a slinky going downstairs. That's what it's like sometimes chasing this market. And, we several people that I coach, up in New York, in New Jersey, in California, have been feeling this for a long time. So this is like, they need some help. And so we've encouraged all of them to come to the Greenbrier. And I also want to say this, it's like they need to learn some new habits, because, in the past few years, in a lot of areas, people have been almost kind of order takers. And so they don't have the habits or the skills, and they haven't been using the muscles to actually thrive in a market like this. I think John Maxwell says we all have uphill goals and downhill habits. So we've got to learn some new things.
Right.
And and what I can also say is, do you remember what some of the feedback was from the last event when they came and they said, it was awesome to be able to sit in the evenings, around a fire pit and talk to Ben Kenny one-on-one, or talk to James Hearn one-on-one, or talk to you one-on-one, that that at these events, they're able to actually, not just during the event, but in the evenings, at the breaks, at lunch, because they are a more intimate setting. Instead of being 5,000 people, it might be a couple hundred or people, that they're able to really get with the speakers one-on-one and ask them a lot of questions that they can't do at a big event.
And they should, and they should bring their family too. This is not like Motel 6 stuff, right? We're going to a beautiful resort, and the atmosphere is going to foster that level of communication that you're talking about. I really can't wait to see it. And I know there's a lot of fun things there to do, and we can't do it all in a weekend. I'm totally rock solid excited about going to the Greenbrier and seeing what a beautiful place that is.
Well, I'll say one more thing about that. Typically these rooms, most of us could never afford to go because it's, $400 or $500 a night. But because of Gary's relationships with Larry and some other folks there at the Greenbrier, we've secured a rate that's, I think it's $249, which is just unheard of. I mean, this historic hotel that is incredibly luxurious also was the bunker for Congress for years. It was the private bunker for Congress to go to if we ever had, a nuclear attack or some sort of an attack on Washington, D.C. And it was ready, every single day, every moment of every day, up until the late 70s when the press found out about it and they had to move it. But it's you can take a tour of. As a matter of fact, there's some special events that we're going to do there that'll be kind of fun. But it's really an incredible hotel. So it's Mother's Day. You can do the champagne brunch. You can do a lot of fun events and bring the family. Let me ask you a question. Is some of your family coming?
I think my wife's going to be there.
Well, how about your son?
Yeah, actually, my son is coming from Ohio. That's right, and his significant other, and that's going to be great. It'd be a great time to celebrate. And and you were talking about cutting the budget and things like that. I just wanted to ask you, as I look at your beautiful necklace, which I think was a gift for me, that maybe I should kind of line item and maybe cut back on the nice personal gifts I'm giving to you during the shift. What do you think?
I don't think that's part of the plan, but thank you for bringing that up. So, anything else that you would share about this event? It's a leadership event. It's definitely also will have a lot of strategy and tactics from us who've been through it many, many times, unfortunately. And also to use some strategies that Gary has given us about how to prepare our clients and our business partners to go through this again. We don't know how long it's going to last, and we don't know how deep it's going to be. But I don't think any of us thought it was going to be as deep or as long as it was in 2008 either. So any parting comments with people that are maybe on the fence about whether they should take a weekend to come to this event?
Well, I know you have to kind of wind through the mountains to get there. I'm sure it's a beautiful drive. Here's the thing, and I'm sure I can't speak for you. However, I'm saying this would probably be the strongest investment you can make for several $100s. You'd probably give them a money back guarantee if they didn't think that it was worth it. I can tell you just the scripts we're going to work on to help people get buyers and sellers into reality, and it will help them make sales that would basically pay for this like 100 times over. So just make the commitment, have some fun, and you know what? You'll walk away with some actual items that will improve your business in the shift or even beyond the shift.
Yeah, Gary always talks about the fact that we should be operating in the market that's to come. So if people haven't been doing that, come and learn from us. We're gonna leave it on the field for you. We're gonna share with you everything that we know that's gonna make your business better. It's gonna make you a better agent, and it's probably gonna make you a better leader just in your family also. So thank you for coming on camera with us today and talking about the event. You're gonna be there. You're gonna be our keynote speaker Friday night.
Yep.
So I'm excited about that. We have a cool dinner and fun event Friday night. So thank you for being our guest today. And I think this is a wrap.
Thank you. Yeah.